This is the story of a boy who was once the most famous person on earth, lost everything that mattered to him, and then did something truly revolutionary. He chose himself. Chapter 1: The Golden Cage. In 1990, Macaulay Culkin became a global phenomenon at age 10. To the world, he was the mischievous, clever Kevin McAllister. But behind the Home Alone face, Mac was a breadwinner for a family of 9 living in a cramped New York apartment. His father, Kit Culkin, was a failed actor who ruled the household with an iron fist. As Mac's fame skyrocketed, his father's control tightened. By age 12, Mac had earned millions, but he had no access to it, no say in his schedule, and most tragically, no childhood. He was working 12-hour days, back to back, filming movies like My Girl and The Good Son. When he told his father he was tired, the answer was always the same: keep working. Chapter 2: The Great Divorce. By 14, the pressure cooker exploded. His parents entered a legendary, bitter custody battle, not just over the children, but over the 15% commission of Mac's $17 million fortune. In a move that shocked Hollywood, the 15-year-old boy did the unthinkable. He sued his own parents. He successfully had them removed as his legal guardians over his finances, placing his money in the hands of an independent executor. He didn't do it because he was spoiled. He did it because it was the only way to make the fighting stop. Once the money was out of his parents' reach, the career they had built for him collapsed. And for Macaulay, that was the greatest gift of all. Chapter 3: The Ghost Years. Macaulay Culkin essentially vanished. For nearly 20 years, he lived a ghost life in New York and Paris. He walked the streets at 2 a.m. because it was the only time people wouldn't scream his name. The media, unable to understand a star who didn't want to be famous, invented a dark past. When a photo of him looking thin and tired went viral in 2012, the tabloids screamed that he was a junkie with months to live. The truth was much simpler. He was a young man who had been on since he was 4 years old, and he was finally enjoying the luxury of being off. He spent his time painting, writing a self-referential novel, and performing in a satirical band that only played songs about pizza. He wasn't lost. He was finally exploring who Macaulay was when he wasn't being Kevin. Chapter 4: The Quiet Victory. The story doesn't end in tragedy. It ends in a suburban kitchen. In 2017, while filming a small indie project in Thailand, he met actress Brenda Song. Brenda, also a former child star, understood the unique trauma of growing up in a spotlight you didn't ask for. Together, they built a life rooted in privacy and humor. In 2021, they welcomed their first son, and in a poetic tribute, Mac named him Dakota, after his late sister. The finale: The Star on the Walk. In late 2023, 33 years after Home Alone, Macaulay Culkin stood on Hollywood Boulevard to receive his star on the Walk of Fame. He looked healthy, happy, and remarkably grounded. He didn't thank the studios or the agents. He looked at Brenda and his children and said, "You are my champion. You're the only person happier for me today than I am. You've given me all my purpose. You've given me family." Macaulay Culkin's disappearance wasn't a failure, it was a masterclass in survival. He proved that you can lose the whole world's attention and finally find your soul.